Markout Mania. Markout Mania. It's Saturday morning and we're marking out on the Markout Mania.
Oh, the classic theme makes a return. Woo!
I couldn't think of anything for today. I'm sorry that was like the lowest energy version.
It was like that. I've sang this song 184 times in a row, and here we go. Markout Mania.
This is the depressed version. Hey,
MTV Unplugged by Candle.
Yeah. Hola, amigos, and welcome to the Markout Mania.
Yeah. Woo!
We've got James the Extreme. Sorno, how are you?
Hey, yo. I'm okay.
And it's the God of Thunder, the Road Warrior Scholar of the Week. Zeus King Dark, how are you?
Good. Emanating from the Amherst campus of Bryan and Stratton College.
Always working, this man. Always working. Continuing to excel as only the Road Warrior Scholar can do.
Zeus is so super famous. I have an action figure of him. I mean, that's how.
Let me guess. It's in a set with Tanahashi, right?
I didn't get that one. That's the convention. That's the convention special.
Oh, okay.
How's it going?
So we're him and Ace are wearing matching T-shirts? No, okay.
Do y'all remember the Dollar Tree toy I said is the Zeus action figure?
Yeah. Woo!
See, Zeus, you need people to bring those to you so you can sign them.
Yeah. I should take my little super deformed Zeus and make a casting of it and make plaster replicas and
a whole bunch of little Zeuses are on everybody's computer on campus.
Put it in blister boxes and stuff, and
yeah.
Hey, since we've got a toy talk going on, and before we get into stuff, did you all see those Super 7 Ultimate Godzilla versus Biollante stuff?
Yeah, that was really nice.
I still haven't seen them. I haven't seen them.
Oh, James, I gotta send you the link. It's mind-blowingly awesome, but there's also mind-blowingly expensive.
Yeah, they usually are.
Yeah,
$80 a piece or something.
Really?
85.
85, yeah. A hundo. May as well just say a hundo.
Yeah. With shipping and everything, it'll be like 100. So to get both of them would be like 200 or more. Who knows?
What size are they?
They're pretty big.
Yeah,
they look like about 10-inch figure.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was a little disappointed with in the Biollante is they didn't have that more crocodile looking head to go along with the rose head.
Right.
I think that would have been really cool.
I was a fan of the crocodile head.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I mean, I think the thing with that though is there's been a number of toys with that head.
Okay.
They're like here, like I have that one. There's that toy line in the 90s that had that Godzilla series, and I have that Biollante version. But the version with the rose head, there's not really that here. But James, I put it in our chat. I put the there's a YouTube link in that tweet. You can watch like a little video with all the.
Oh, cool! Thanks, Pedro. After we go off air, I'll check it out.
Yeah, they did a good job with them, though. I mean, definitely. But
I'm not paying all that money for.
No, it's
well, I'm done paying for all those collectibles, man. Yeah. I've paid too much already for a lot of shit.
Yeah, you gotta outstanding collection of stuff, James.
Thank you. Yeah,
You know
I
what?
still got. I still haven't opened all my alien stuff, but like a lot of them are still like. I got 2 sideshow figures that they're still in the box sealed. I haven't even cracked them open.
Maybe that's good because
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
You know what I watched some of the other day? I watched some of the remastered season 1 of Star Trek.
Oh, nice.
the
Good
original.
job.
Yes. And
Okay.
Good
I
job.
was just blown away by how good it looked. I mean, it was really, the only time that we've seen a failing of digitally remastering stuff like that is sometimes in the makeup of like aliens and things. You can kind of see, those things where it was,
And
where
Shaw Brother movies, because I got a
right,
4K remastered of Kid with the Golden Arm, and you could see the glue from the hair pieces
right,
and the tape on the set from the sky in the background. That looked awesome.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
laughing so hard. Yeah.
That now I tell you, like those kind of things, like when you're remastering it, it's like if you're really gonna remaster it,
Yeah, you can erase all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, or at least have selective, blurring.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I mean, it's 2022. Technology is amazing. So,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah,
I
but the
said,
Star Trek looked good, huh?
look great. I mean, it's just it was pretty amazing that how that show got made and produced, and it's like they literally Major was like literally like stomping on Gene's desk, yelling at him to finish writing the dialogue so she could run it over to the copy place and get they make the carbon. Remember they make copies with the carbon.
Yeah, yeah, the old school. Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole. Yeah.
And they, and literally take it onto the set where everybody's in costume waiting.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, it's pretty
It's
interesting.
amazing. Although you know what I want to do, but before I finish collecting, like I got all the Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
I want to get Space 1999.
Oh yeah, the series. I think
Yeah.
I remember that one guy
And the ship. And the ship.
Yeah.
I want to get the ship.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, that was like a big thing. I remember when I was like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old.
Yeah, always wanted to get that, and instead I got sidetracked with aliens and Borgs and all kinds of stuff. Predators.
I like how you say that, like, oh, this boring aliens and Borgs.
No, it's not that. But you always had that one thing.
Enterprises.
Yes, I know, right? You always got that one thing on the back burner. You go, you know what? I'm gonna get to that one day. And you just never do.
Oh,
yeah, I got a lot of it.
Also, thanks to my 99-cent rental of the Paramount Plus channel through Amazon Prime, I was able to see the new Screen movie for free.
Oh,
Actually, how is it?
You know what? It's not great, but I tell you, it's probably better than the last 2 before this.
Oh man, it's probably better than that Texas Chainsaw bullshit that Netflix had.
Yeah, I've seen so many bad reviews on that, but they what they kind of did is they, and of course because properties never die, they kind of set up a new young girl to be, maybe if they do another one, they can finally say goodbye to Sydney.
Boy, they're really milking this, huh?
Yeah, but I mean it. And of course the problem is, like I I didn't like the villains
Yeah.
in this one. So it was. Of course, I haven't liked any of the villains in it since the first. Well, maybe the second one they were all right, but I mean, it's hard to beat that performance from Matthew Lillard and
Yeah.
the kid that looks like Johnny Depp.
What that Skeet Ulrich or whatever his
Yeah,
name
that's
is.
it. Yeah, Skeet. Yeah. But yeah, so I've watched it like 3 times now, and
Oh wow.
Okay.
I'm such a sucker for Ghostface, and then it's like every time I do it, right, because I mean because there's a tie-in for me, like the look of the Ghostface killer is almost the exact opposite of the vanilla ghost from the ice cream ghosts from Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So if you look up the one, it wasn't from the original 3-year run of Scooby-Doo, but it was like one of the next series still before Scrappy, and they come up on a haunted ice cream factory, and there's chocolate, vanilla, strawberry ghosts, and then all 3 of the ghosts look the same, but just different colors. But the white ghost, if you did a negative flip on him, he looks almost exactly like Ghostface.
Nice.
And so
I have to admit something. I was not a fan of Scrappy Doo.
nobody was.
Yeah.
Nobody was
So
Scrappy.
who is there a Scrappy Doo fan somewhere?
Yeah, the network executives that created him, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Horrible.
And I tell you why they did it is because honestly, those first 3 seasons of Scooby-Doo are dark as fuck. They were dark. I mean, they were the mood was dark, and I mean they brought it together with levity and things toward the end, but I mean the overall feel of it was very very horror inspired.
Yeah.
So I think Scrappy was there just to placate possible parents and senators' wives and things that were starting to make noise and things like that.
Makes sense.
Which actually kind of here I can segue that into something else. We can segue that into Pedro did some amazing Dungeons and Dragons the animated series art this week on his
I missed that.
Twitch? Yeah.
On your Twitch channel. And
I missed that.
So here's how Pedro starts out. He starts out with a dungeon master, okay? Nice dungeon master, all right? He's nice, simple dungeon master. Then he takes his next card. And mind you, James, these are 2-inch by 3-inch blank trading cards he's drawing.
Okay.
And then he proceeds to draw the 5-headed monster, Tiamat, the queen of
Really?
and stuff 5 heads
On a card?
on the card, beginning with this giant, because the heads are different sizes for Tiamat in the animated series. So he starts with the giant red dragon head, which is, that's the talking head usually, and that's the key head, the center head, and everything. And then he's able to stuff not only 4 more heads, but a wing.
Nice. I gotta see this. I gotta watch this.
In this tiny little card.
I missed
and so it took him so long. What was the other thing you drew? Venger. So he was able to squeeze a Venger in by the end of it. And then after he went off the air, he draws the whole crew.
Yeah.
Nice.
All the heroes.
Good job, Pedro.
It was what was funny was before at the start I was like, I'm gonna try to get in more than I have lately, because when we did the Jason the Wheeled Warriors only got 3 in because Sawboss took forever, and then Bean wanted me to do Tiamat, so he kept. So I was like, okay, and then it took forever.
Because you literally, I mean, it's like you're stuffing 5 cards into 1 card.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because literally it's like almost like 5 characters. Yeah. How long was that show on the air for?
3 seasons, and it
3
won its
seasons?
time. It led its time slot all 3 seasons.
Yeah, actually, that was a good show, man. I remember that.
Yeah, I really liked it too. It was it's kind of that Toy Galaxy video is fantastic. And I love being able to watch that and go, okay, so the voice cast, it's like you had the guy that played Ralph Malph with
No, Donnie Moss.
with Don, yeah, and uh, the Ranger, who was in Eight Is Enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Adam Rich, who was in Eight Is Enough.
That was
And
another
then
show. 8 Is Enough. I remember that
right,
too. Wow.
yeah, and then Willie Ames was in Charles in Charge.
Yeah.
And Charles in Charge starred Scott Baio, who was in Happy Days with
Donnie Moss, whatever you want to call him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's such a interesting voice cast. It's almost like some kind of a weird. You could probably do just with the cast because of Frank Welker and Peter Cullen. You could probably do a 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
like
they
you remember the movie Animal House?
yeah.
Okay. You remember Dean Wormer? The actor John Vernon?
Yeah.
Right? He was the voice of Tony Stark Iron Man in the 60s Iron Man's cartoon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I just found out recently that Lance Russell, wrestling TV announcer.
Yeah.
He was Tony the Tiger.
Really?
They're great.
I didn't know that.
That was Lance Russell. That's some shit, right?
Some shit, man.
Well,
I found that out. I was like, really? That's awesome.
Well, no, actually, it's this guy named Thurl Ravenscroft. Was
not now? I'm talking about way back when, Zeus.
No, his name was Thurl Arthur Ravenscroft. He was the Tony the Tiger for more than 5 decades.
Really? So why did the interviewer said that? Oh, he was interviewing. I read somewhere that he was interviewing Lance Russell, and Lance Russell told them that he filled in and did Tony the Tiger for a little while.
Maybe he did it for a little bit, but
yeah.
But I mean, this guy was
on the commercials. I think he said that he filled in during the commercials for like a year or something. I was like, no shit, he was the voice of Tony the Tiger. That's how.
Yeah, he Ravenscroft was also the uncredited vocalist for "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch."
Oh, look at that! You're a mean one.
That's right,
Mr. Grinch.
But there were different there were different voices for him. I tell you, you got him confused. You got Lance Russell confused with Lee Marshall.
Thank you, Lance Russell. Lee Marshall. There you go. Thank you.
Lee Marshall actually did do some Tony the Tiger work.
That's what I was talking about. Lee Marshall. I'm sorry, not Lance Russell. Yeah, I got him confused. Thank you. Lee Marshall. There you go.
Y'all were talking about
he's always great for wrestling.
Oh yeah, Lee Marshall had a good voice.
Yeah.
He had a good.
He did a lot of AWA stuff back in the day.
Yeah, and he wasn't an idiot either. You know.
That's what I was talking about. Lee Marshall, not Lance Russell. My bad. It's not Alzheimer's, it's sometimers.
That's right.
Zeus, you were talking about the remastered Star Trek, how good the picture quality is and stuff. And this is going to be a strange thing to
We
tie
gotta
into
do a
that.
Star Trek episode. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Who said
yeah, I
that?
Yeah, we
know.
do. We really
Who
do.
said that?
But I recently saw some remastered like sort of high definition thing of the Andy Griffith Show, and I was like, it was really weird. It was so weird because it's almost like 3D. Like you kind of see like the people in the forefront and stuff in the background, like very
No.
cleanly and all this stuff, and it was just really weird looking. Like the way I was used to the show looking suddenly looked very different.
Mhm.
It was really
Do
weird.
you think it? Do you think it looked more like a stage play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I felt about it too. And I've been to the Andy Griffith Museum because I grew up in North Carolina, and Andy did a ton of plays, Broadway, off Broadway, stuff like that, and so I think that was part of the whole thing was helping him feel really comfortable in that setting.
Hmm.
So
That's interesting. That's interesting.
But hey, let's get to some topical stuff. What should we start with? Do we start with the passing of Scott Hall?
what
Yeah,
you
why
just did.
not? Yeah, you just did. There you go.
I mean, it's it's not good when people in the wrestling community pass away too early. But
Way too early.
yeah, I mean, but when we look at the average age of wrestlers passing away is we all know it's
Yeah.
shockingly low. I mean 65, 63. That's a pretty long life for wrestlers, especially ones that
Hmm.
came up in the 70s and 80s, and I mean, of course, it's we're not here to bag on his demons. That's all
No.
well documented.
Exactly. But it's funny how he passed though, because he went in for hip surgery, right?
Right.
And he had a blood clot during the hip surgery, which the clot caused 3 heart attacks, 3 consecutive heart attacks, and his body couldn't withstand it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wow.
So of course that makes us all the more glad that you're still with us, James.
Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm like, whoa,
But yeah, so the earliest I can remember Scott Hall was when he started aping Magnum TA.
Oh yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
Magnum Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
And that kind of set the tone for a while because he was kind of this real vanilla guy.
Hmm.
I mean, he of course he had this amazing build, really tall, and
What was he, 6'6", 6'7", something like that, right?
yeah, I believe so. And just I mean, yeah, if you see a picture of him next to Magnum, I mean, he towers over Magnum.
Yeah.
And I think Magnum was 6'2", something like that. But yeah, so he kind of another one of those guys that kind of got saddled with dumb gimmicks. The Starship thing.
Yeah, the American Starship. Yeah,
American Starship Coyote and American Starship Eagle, and
yeah, remember that? That was him and Dan Spivey, man. Yeah.
yeah. Dan Spivey, another poor guy who
Yeah. Oh.
got. But be that as it may,
Waylon Mercy, remember that? Oof.
yeah. But so and I guess people started to take him more seriously when him and Kurt Hennig teamed up in the AWA.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and they won the tag team titles there.
They were a pretty decent team too.
I cannot honestly remember any of their matches, really.
I saw a lot of their stuff. Yeah, because it was being shown back in New York back in the day.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, because I mean, AWA was coming on ESPN.
That's when I was watching it. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That and the Pro Wrestling USA show. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, did y'all hear the story about the Barbarian kicking his teeth out?
No.
All right, so it was one day on in Georgia in the in the Peachtree tapings, or well, I mean the live broadcast show, and Scott Hall was like his first day there, and the Barbarian was beating up some people, and somebody from the back told him to run in and make a save, and he ran in, and Barbarian didn't recognize him and kicked him as hard as he could in the face.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I believe he knocked a couple of teeth out.
Oh man.
Welcome to the business, kid.
Right. And yeah, so that was a rude awakening for him.
I remember watching him and Kurt Hennig in the AWA shows in New York. I remember his debut, all his debut vignettes as Razor Ramon with the Chico. All the little screenshots in Miami and those brutal suits and those flowered shirts that he would wear and those vignettes. And then he would talk like this, like he was slowed down in slow motion. I want the cup of coffee, man.
Yeah, it's like part of me wonders. It's like, Al Pacino had such a weird Cuban accent in Scarface.
Yeah.
To most people, that it's like it was definitely inspired by that. I mean,
that's what he pitched it to Vince as, because he even asked Vince, "Have you ever seen Scarface?" And Vince said no. So he went on his whole routine.
Yeah, and the thing is like the look of the hair and everything, that was something he already established in WCW as the Diamond Stud.
As the Diamond Stud, that's right. Him and
so he took the same look. Yeah, he took the same, the hair and the toothpick and the sunglasses and the
vest.
The attitude and the Diamond was Diamond Death Diamond Death Drop.
Yeah.
That his power bomb that became a Razor's Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Diamond Death Drop, I think it was called. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And and I saw him live twice as the Diamond Stud in WCW. And I don't remember the time he was in. I think he beat Z-Man one time, but the other time it was in the main event of a house show where it was him and Richard Morton and One Man Gang and somebody else against it's like Sting, Robert Gibson, Ron Simmons, and it was a 4-on-4 War Games at a house show. And and I believe Sting won that by he won it. I think he might have put Larry Zbyszko in the Scorpion Deathlock. But anyway, so
sorry.
Yeah, so that was an interesting, you probably can't find, until he came back as Scott Hall. You don't think you can find him in many War Games.
I didn't mean to elbow the desk there.
Yeah, but yeah. So the Diamond Stud was, that was one of the DDP, the Diamond Exchange, or the Diamond Mine. So and then so I mean the Razor Ramon character was just is another one of those ones that just took off.
Mm.
He was quotable, and it's just really weird how over the top and crazy and how unlikable he really should have been, but then he became popular.
James, you with us?
We might have lost James. James, get the taser your hamsters there.
Taser
Hello?
yes.
Hello? Okay, sorry
Yes.
about that. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I saw brutal. I think the Diamond Stud. I think Razor Ramon was obviously an extension of Diamond Stud because it was like with a lot of the same mannerisms and characteristics and all that. But I saw him once as Razor at the WWF house show, and I think he was fighting Doink the Clown.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it was Maniac Matt Bourne. And that was the only time I saw him as Razor. So but he was, he was so over. Everybody loved him. He as a heel and a face, they loved him. Oh my God! Hold on. All right, guys, hold on.
Okay. I saw Scott Hall once. It was at that Nitro at the Astrodome, and at the end of '98. I think he fought Scott Steiner, I think. But I mean, I don't really remember much about it. I'd have to rewatch it.
I mean, if he was at a Nitro, he probably started it off with the, a Hey Yo. And what's funny is I'd seen him do that as Scott Hall like twice in Charlotte. And it was really over in Charlotte.
Hey Yo.
Yeah, the Hey Yo. The Hey Yo was over in Charlotte, but at the '97 Fall Brawl, he got booed out of the building in Greensboro. In Winston-Salem.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I remember him too when every Monday I would watch on Nitro, he would go, "It's survey time."
Yeah. Service.
Are you here to see WCW or are you here to see the NWO? Yeah. So I was like, okay.
And
I remember when you went off to Japan and New Japan, they got smacked around a little bit. Yeah, that was a pretty short time. I don't think I ever saw that stuff until way later. Yeah, well, they didn't want to, because you got beat up a little bit out there, But don't piss off Chono.
I saw some of his stuff in Japan, like after WCW was over. Was that after the?
He was in.
He was going back. He actually him and Nash, and there was somebody else. Him, Nash, and Norton.
No, I think it was
him, Nash, and somebody else.
Undertaker was like something like the Punisher or something. Axis the Ace, the Punisher or something.
Axis the Demolisher or something like that.
No, that was Axe from Demolition.
Okay,
but.
Yeah, but I remember Hall. It was his NWO gimmick. It was him, Nash, and somebody else. I'm not sure if it was Norton or somebody else during that time where you're
talking about during the NWO time where they were going to Japan sometimes.
Yes, that. And he supposedly he showed a lot of footage to that there because supposedly, he was given a few receipts in the ring.
Mm.
You know, he got a little smacked up a little bit, and a little embarrassing for him. But I mean, Hall, I always thought was good in the ring. You know, he gotten lazy, but I don't know if you can call it lazy because he had health issues. So like he was probably forced to slow down his style, change up his style. But I thought that when he put his attitude aside and stuff like that, he could actually go in the ring.
Oh yeah, and he had great punches, which
Yeah,
is
he had excellent
really
punches. Yeah,
really rare. I mean, I think I saw some people talking about it the other day. Said he might have looked at I can't remember who they said he kind of modeled his punches after, but he had good punches. I mean, they always looked like they were hurting people, and
yeah.
that they did the
Didn't
the
The Rock model his punches after Scott Hall's?
quite possibly.
Yeah.
Scott Hall had much better punches than The Rock, but yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah, because the original is normally always better.
Right, but I mean, still, if you put The Rock's punches up against most of the people today,
oh well.
Oh well, yeah, hell yeah.
You know, but as far as like Scott Hall in WCW, he was in the NWO, he was always doing like he was the run your mouth heel, and then he was really selective about the face-to-face confrontation in the ring. And I tell you, I will give it, people will talk about guys not jobbing or whatever. But that Slamboree in 97, where it was Hall, Nash, and Six against Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and Kevin Green in the main event. That was the greatest victory that WCW ever got over the NWO. I mean, that was honestly the only way you could have made that better is if that had been Sting instead of Kevin Green, who Kevin Green did a great job that night. But I mean, if you could have had a really, like the end of the NWO, that would have been it, because you had all three guys tapping out at the end to the baby faces in Charlotte, and it was this was nuts. I mean, it's probably
I can imagine that probably could have exploded. Yeah, probably exploded.
Yeah, and that wasn't the basketball arena. That was the they call it the Bojangles Arena now. It's like 10,000 people, but I mean it was a really loud, and it was just probably the best ending of a pay-per-view, or the most enjoyable I'd ever seen at the end of a pay-per-view.
That's cool. I would like to see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and
in their heyday, the NWO in their heyday with WCW, he was instrumental. A lot of times he was the one getting beat up in the ring a lot. I mean, he would sell. He would sell. Actually, one of his oversells is one of the best of all time, because I love the way he takes Stone Cold Stunner.
Right.
I mean, that's awesome the way he oversells it. It's awesome. It's awesome. And he's always the first in line to take it.
Yeah, and then I saw him. I saw him at the Fall Brawl '96, and that was the big War Games match where Sting walked out on. WCW.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yep. And then my coworker Mark went with me, and he got a one of those big 44-ounce cups of soda from the concession stand with extra ice, and he drank the soda real fast. So he had this great big cup of ice at the end of the pay-per-view, and he wanted to throw it. He's like, if the NWO wins, I'm throwing this.
Mhm.
we weren't close. We were actually in the upper level. We were like near the edge of the upper level. And so when they ended up going on the match, he threw it. He threw that thing, but it only made it to about the third row, and
Oh,
Oh
and
my
I mean, it
god!
was, like water and ice flew all over these people
Mm.
that were down
Brutal.
close, and they were all turned around. We were all just like, "Hey, where'd that come?"
Yeah, they played it off. Like, who threw that?
And
Yeah,
they warned everybody not to. I mean,
Yeah.
they said before. I think every WCW, WWF, and ECW show I ever went to, especially starting from that '96, they said, don't throw anything.
hmm
Yeah.
You're gonna get ejected. Now, and nobody got ejected that night at the '95 Nitro, where they gave away all that Hogan merchandise before the main event, and the fans threw the shit back in the ring.
Mm.
Yeah.
That nobody got thrown out for that, but that was funny as fuck.
So, WrestleMania 17 story, real fast.
Yeah.
At the end of the pay-per-view, at the end of the show, when Austin beat The Rock, someone from above threw like a cup of ice or something. They threw some kind of cup, and it landed on some kid, and the dad was just just exploded in rage, and he ran up there, and these two people just started like welling on each other. They just started fighting.
Nice.
But
You had an extra match, people. You had an extra match.
People fighting at wrestling shows in that time period, I saw a lot. I don't know if it was just a Texas thing, but I saw this a lot. People fighting at the wrestling shows.
I saw more people fighting at like basketball and hockey games.
Oh wow!
But
yeah, I've seen a few in baseball, especially Yankees, Red Sox. Yeah. I've never really seen one at a wrestling. Even at all the ECW shows I went to. I mean, that they've been face to face encounters. People talk a lot of shit and arguing, heated arguments, but pushing a little shoving here and there. But I've never seen full blown brawl.
I've seen a number of fights at wrestling shows, but it's that 98 through like 2001 period.
That real attitude. The 1997 Fall Brawl was Scott Hall and Randy Savage against DDP and oh shit, who was that? Oh man. I gotta look it up now.
Well, so sometime it's kicking in. It's all good, Zeus.
Right?
It's all good. It's all good. I enjoy Scott Hall's post wrestling career because I enjoyed his shoot interviews. I thought they were pretty good because he told it like it is,
Oh, it was Luger and DDP beat Scott Hall.
Oh, you were better off not remembering.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, Scott Hall was good in those shoot interviews, James.
Yeah, he was. He was. He was
very honest, about all kind of stuff.
But it's like I remember he was one of the early ones that got really famous. Like you got to see his shoot interview.
Right.
And I remember other fans talking about it and things. And of course that when he was talking on those shoot interviews, he's using all the insider language.
Yeah.
So it's like when wrestlers get mad at fans for using insider terms, it's like, well, you taught them to us, you assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
like not only would he say these terms, he would explain them to the interview.
Mhm.
And and that was then in 1998 at Fall Brawl, it was Conan beat Scott Hall by submission, and that was
Oh, he jobbed the Conan. Oh,
yeah, it was a terrible match. It really was not a good match. It was they didn't really work well together, and of
Mm.
course Conan in 1998 was just not he's not really that mobile. And
No.
Zeus, Conan in 1988, 89 is like dog shit. So like he's Bean and I always laugh about this, especially if you watch old CML like again. You'll just be like, this dude is the drizzling shit. I know he has a period where he slightly improves, but he is mostly of his career is just like terrible. In ring.
I remember watching him in that stupid whole LWO shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
When they were
mean
doing the Latino World Order, and
no?
he was
Conan wasn't in
playing
that.
the no,
But
the
he was,
Filthy Animals, right?
Yeah, Filthy
but
Animals.
he was sort of angling against the LWO.
Right,
He was
right.
in the
The
stratosphere
Filthy
of the
Animals,
angle. Yeah.
right? So he would wear these insanely baggy jeans and wrestle in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like half the time he's pulling up his jeans because every time he did a roll, his jeans would fall down. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Throw on some fucking wrestling tights. What's wrong with you? Or, well, yo, wear a belt. It was just like, yo, like it's stupid.
He had those rap videos and stuff, James. He had to live off that image.
Yeah,
Idiot.
he was that was the beginning of the him and the Wolf Pack. That was the beginning of his
Yeah, there you go, Zeus. You got it. There you go. Yeah.
the LA gangsta.
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
Pedro said, he was coming off that angle with the Filthy Animals and the LWO, and then whole thing with the Wolf Pack, and that's when he moved into the gangster shit.
I remember the
Yeah.
LWO angle was kind of against Rey Mysterio, and then sometimes Conan was involved, like against
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing. I mean that the way Eddie was recruiting him, I loved that. And because he was railing on management, and it was just I love the whole LWO thing, and I got to see I got I got to see that Thunder, one of those ones where Eddie was making Ray wear the 5X LWO shirt to the ring, and he had to face Hoovy, and Ray won on a reverse disqualification because Hoovy cheated to get the win, but they caught Eddie. I guess that was probably the last time they caught Eddie cheating, but
Eddie was awesome.
yeah. But
actually, speaking of Eddie,
Okay.
Dominic Mysterio showed up on NXT this week, and he ended up in a match, and he decided to do the Eddie Guerrero tribute. He did the shimmy
No.
up to the top rope and did the 5-star.
Well, it was
And
his
I'm
daddy.
like, it was. I wouldn't even call it a 5-star. I call it a 1.5. It was brutal.
Star now. James, he was just paying tribute to his real dad.
His real father.
right,
Yeah. That's what Miz said. Yeah.
If Casey's listening right now, he's definitely going. He's paying tribute to his dad.
Yeah, his dad. Yeah. That was awesome. But yeah, Dominic. But that's another story. But you said Eddie. That's the thing that popped in my head. I was like, oh, brutal.
People,
Yeah.
WWE making all the any and all Hispanic wrestlers do the Eddie Guerrero tribute spots is always amusing.
Yeah. I just asked Sin Cara. Brutal, brutal. But yeah, Scott Hall was, he was, I thought, I, I thought he was a very intelligent wrestler. He was smart. I mean, unfortunately, his demons got in the way of like a lot of stuff. But I thought he was smart in the business. He did it right. I mean, he did some things wrong, obviously, because he was getting receipts a few times in the ring. But for the most part, I'm glad WWE put him in the Hall of Fame. And it's sad that he's gone because, I mean, he shouldn't have gone so early. I mean, he's like, he like Henning and like especially Kurt Henning and Eddie Guerrero and guys like that who died in their late 40s, mid 40s. I mean, that's harsh too.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
I mean, we lost Zeus. We sort of. You okay, James?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay. We know, a lot of wrestlers die young, especially from that generation of wrestlers, because
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to get into the recreational substance
Right.
stuff. Forget
Pharmaceuticals.
that part.
Right.
The steroid stuff
Right.
is the main reason
Mhm.
because of the enlarging of the hearts.
Yep.
I mean, that's why, so.
Yeah. It's tough,
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, I mean, to me, one of Scott Hall's greatest moments is when he put over X-Pac on Raw. And then all of a sudden, the 1, 2, 3 kid was born.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he knew how to do business,
Yeah. I mean, he was. He's just involved in so many big moments and stuff in wrestling. So he was, and I still remember when I can't remember how I found out, but I remember finding out that Razor Ramon was Scott Hall from the AWA, and I was like, "What? There's no way." Like
the hair and the mustache, yeah.
I knew Razor Ramon was the Diamond Stud, okay?
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was, the cowboy guy from the
AWA.
Like, what?
That's the guy that rode the horse. Yep, that's
like,
him.
No, it can't be that guy. That guy had like an afro. It can't be him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. The big Magnum TA mustache, remember?
Yeah.
Yep.
Zeus says he's trying to get back. So we await your return, Zeus.
The Road Warrior Scholar schooling individuals before he comes back to us. It's all good. But yeah, I thought it was good,
Yeah.
I thought he was good. I mean, so, it's sad, but, it happens,
Yeah.
It does. I mean,
people die all the time. Yeah.
No, I just don't like. He was trying to prove himself in later years.
Yeah.
The whole thing with DDP, and I mean, he fell down and cracked his hip, and he thought he was, he thought he was going to get fixed. And then all of a sudden, you get a blood clot at 3 heart attacks. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, my I don't remember what the surgery was for because I was too young when this happened. But my abuelo died like getting a surgery. Like
so anytime you go on that,
I mean that stuff happens.
It happens. That's what I meant to say. Because it happens.
Yeah.
Anytime you go under for any procedure, there's a chance, no matter how slight, but there's still a chance.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had more than my share of procedures, and I'm grateful.
You know a thing or two about it, yes.
Yeah, that I do. Unfortunately, I'm a veteran at this.
Hey, James, I watched a lot of women's wrestling this week from January and a lot from January and stuff because I'm catching up on things I missed, but I have not seen NXT from this week. Anything exciting happen at NXT this week?
Other than Dominic doing a half-star splash?
Yeah.
Actually, LA Knight is like ridiculously over. Okay, the fans love him. Actually, he challenged Dolph Ziggler for the NXT Championship.
Oh,
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good match, but you know he wasn't going to win, yeah, because all they do is setting up Braun Breaker to win it back at WrestleMania weekend. So Braun Breaker comes back out, and he chases Dolph Ziggler away. Dolph Ziggler gets the pin on the LA Night Fine. The thing that interests me was Tommaso Ciampa cut an interesting promo saying he wanted to thank the fans for 7 years at NXT, and he's trying to figure out his next destination. And then the fans are chanting, "Please don't go." And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What the hell's going on here? And he was like, "I don't have a match I stand and deliver. I'm just going to, I'm going to take some time and contemplate about my future." I'm like, is this guy leaving because he's hurt? Is his neck bothering him again? Or I don't know. But then Tony D'Angelo comes out and cuts a promo on him talking about it'll be an honor to wrestle the face of NXT, and I could have came in the ring and cracked you with a crowbar, but instead I'm going to look you face to face and shake your hand. And after he shakes his hand, he kicks him in the nuts. So now Tony D'Angelo and Tommaso Ciampa stand and deliver. So we'll see how that goes.
So Tommaso Ciampa is going to put over Tony D'Angelo on his way out.
Yeah, pretty much. As far as
sorry, you put the song in my head.
You had Cora Jade, bothering Toxic Attraction. I like Cora Jade. She's cute. She was bothering Toxic Attraction. She stole all their belts and put them in places and stuff. So, she was playing mind games with Toxic Attraction. Other than that, it was pretty, it was okay. It was a good episode. I look at NXT 2.0. It's the same. It's being looked at by me the same way I'm looking at AEW right now. It's shit and it's entertainment at the same time. So that's it. I'm not going to take it too seriously anymore, because I can't. Because otherwise, I'll just sit there and criticize everything, and I can't do that. Why aggravate myself?
I don't think AEW is very entertaining. I dispute this part, but
you didn't think Thunder Rosa's entrance was entertaining?
The entrance made the entire promotion. Yes, James.
I thought it was a nice moment that she won the belt.
The entrance, Thunder Rosa's entrance was fantastic. Zeus, are you here?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Zeus, did you see Thunder Rosa's entrance?
No, I heard it was good though.
Yeah, it's like they had like a female mariachi band come out and all this stuff, and then she came out in her black metal makeup, and it was cool.
It looked like she was wearing Cobra Moon pants, wasn't she?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like it's like she did stuff to it, but it looked like the Cobra Moon tights.
Yeah.
I was
like, wait a minute. I'd heard that, but I thought they looked more like her Thunder Rosa tights she was wearing, like, before. Before Cobra Moon, because I don't remember those. Because it was like
a variation.
You know
what?
It
was like a variation. James, it could have been ones from WoW.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. She might be wearing like the variation from WoW.
Yeah.
That I can't remember what the Cobra Moon character was called on WoW.
It was some kind of variation of Cobra Moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Serpentine.
Yeah.
There you go, Zeus. There you go.
So maybe that's what it was. It was the Serpentine tights. The
Cobra Moon tights were kind of that diamond snakeskin pattern.
Someone mentioned James. You mentioned Scott Hall doing one of the best bumps or whatever for the stunner.
Yeah.
We saw like one of the worst stunners ever executed in that match.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Let me tell you something. I thought the moment of her winning the AEW Women's Championship was good. I genuinely felt for her at that moment because I think she deserves it. It was good. But It goes back to what we've been saying the past few weeks about her matches, and you know, like matches with Britt Baker, especially. They're not right. They're off.
I mean, I'm not going to. I don't know if she's. There's rumors that she's injured and this and that.
I keep reading that.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to get too into like, her performance stuff. Because not on the air, I'm not going to get too much into her performance stuff. But yeah, nothing really went right in that match, the entire match.
Oh man, the ending was really weird and rushed.
Yeah, I mean, there's I told y'all there's that part where what was it that they did? Was it the power bomb or was it?
Yeah, power bomb and thumbtacks.
Okay. Yeah, so the power bomb looks awful. Okay, first off, I mean they didn't come off right, but nothing was coming off right. So the power bomb, they do that, and Britt Baker rolls out of the ring real fast, and Thunder Rosa looks kind of confused, and you can see, like, if you watch it back, you can see like Aubrey is telling her, like, we got to rush to the final.
It's.
She's telling her this, and you
hurry up,
see,
go home. Hurry up and go home. Yeah.
You can see like the thing going through Thunder Rosa's eyes, like she's like confused and at the same time processing this. Like, okay, I gotta get out there because we gotta do this chair spot. Which I was like, why even mess with the chair spot? Like, just get to the thing. But they do this chair spot, which they have to then no sell because they got to scramble into the finish, and it was just a mess. I mean, the whole match was like a mess. Yeah, it was in San Antonio. She got the big pop, and she had so the good things out of this, you have the entrance, you have the big pop, and you have Thunder Rosa as champion. The stuff, nothing good in between.
It was definitely rushed. And you want to talk about going to the Gumby school of no selling. Holy shit. Britt Baker sold everything. Did she get hit with the power bomb on the thumbtacks, roll out the ring, flipped off the camera, and then grab the chair from underneath?
Yeah, but that's that sequence where they're rushing to the finish.
Right.
Because I mean, again, like, watch it back, you'll see Aubrey is like communicating to them, like, we gotta hurry, like, we gotta hurry.
The whole thing where it's just kind of a weird thing how they got to this point, because there's no reason that they shouldn't have just either skipped their last match or skipped this one, just had her win it,
At the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, that would have made more sense. And I get it. You want to win in front of your home crowd and everything, but I mean, walking into the home crowd,
as champion, right?
That's
look. She walks. She goes into San Antonio as the champion. She has this celebration, with the hometown, all this stuff, and then someone lays her out at the end to set up like a new.
Right. That's how you do it. Right.
It makes sense to us because that's traditional, logical booking. That's how you would do it, but they don't do this. So.
And because Thunder Rosa is hugely over. It doesn't matter. She didn't need the hometown pop. She's getting, she's wildly popular everywhere with the AEW, with non-AEW. I mean, we saw that. I mean, I saw that myself. She was hugely over. It's almost 3-4 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, even on the Ring of Honor card, I saw her. She was over.
Yeah.
And she was the heel in that match. And she was over.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But good for her.
I mean, it's weird. This is I think most people have been wanting them to put the belt on her for a long time. We're like, oh, this is the best direction that can happen for that division, right? Is for her to be the champion.
Yeah.
But it is increasingly looking like it's not really going to matter. Like that's on paper, right? Increasingly looking like it's not really going to matter how it looks on paper. The execution is going to be what it is. And so they got to the big moment, which is the AEW, which is they love the big moment. They hype up the big moment. So will she just what will happen now after the big moments?
Yeah.
What will the follow-up be? Because the AEW format is always after the person wins the belt, they tend to pull back on building up until it's time for them to lose the belt. So we'll see.
Another thing I saw was stupid. Stupid comments from people was saying that they didn't think that those thumbtacks were real.
What?
Yeah, and I mean they were all of them got. I mean even when referee Aubrey went down to make the pin, she got thumbtacks in her elbow, and you know they showed all. I mean I've seen photos and video of all of them with
I
with
saw
thumbtack holes.
How
I
are
saw
you gonna,
photos of Aubrey taking out the thumbtacks out of her elbow. Yeah.
how are you going to fake thumbtacks? Like I don't even know how.
Well, I mean the way would be you would just snip the
Top
you
of
would snip the
Mm.
pin
yeah, that tips.
off of the
Okay.
backing.
But then
But
they're not going to stick to anything.
right. Now the you know the most thumbtack thing I ever got to see live was the flaming thumb table power bomb that the Dudleys did on
Mm-hmm.
Balls Mahoney at that house show, and
They were doing that loop for they were doing that gimmick for about a good month straight.
I think it was longer than that. It was like most of that summer. It was like about 3 months where they had that whole feud.
Was it that long? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I think you're right. Yeah.
It was like 2-3 months,
Yeah.
and because that was like Balls. You know, he had a T-shirt on over the singlet, and he had jeans over the bottom. You know, those weird cut up jeans. And I remember when they put him out with the water, and then he had the thumbtacks all in his back, and I think it was the referee, might have been the referee, grabbed the bottom of his shirt and yanked it, and you saw these thumbtacks flying out of him. It was pretty cool.
I can't believe somebody said the thumbtacks weren't real. Wow, that's idiotic.
Yeah, it's pretty outrageous.
Is AEW is going to that thumbtack well a lot.
I mean,
they're doing a lot of blood lately. A lot of blood.
Yeah,
lately.
ton of blood. But the thumbtack things, they've been doing that a lot the past year or so. Are they reaching Abyss TNA levels with the thumbtacks, where it starts to become a running joke?
I hope not, but yeah, it looks like that because every even at the pay-per-view thumbtacks.
Well, post 2000 2005, it's really hard to get wrestlers to go through a table. So I guess the table thing is, because I mean it's just there's nothing but I am the table videos on Botchamania of modern wrestlers that can't put each other through tables to save their lives. And I'm just like going, man, I don't know. And it's just like proof to me that modern wrestlers don't listen to the guys from days gone by, because how can you work in a company where like House of Glory or whatever, and like that's like Tommy Dreamer's company, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, his company. I forgot what it's called. Yeah,
I think
it's something.
House of Glory. Yeah,
Glory. Yeah.
House of
Glory.
You're right.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you have wrestlers that actually they literally work for Tommy Dreamer, and they don't know how to put each other through tables?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, you got all these guys out there. I mean, Rhino's out there. The Dudleys are out there. I mean, all these guys who put dudes through tables
All day long.
all day long. And actually, I saw a thing, a little snippet of an interview with Spike Dudley, and he said that he'd done that one spot with I think he said it was with Edge and Christian, where they picked him up and kind of like choke slammed him out of the ring through a table.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he did it like a couple of years later with those was it Rene Dupree and his tag team partner?
Yeah.
And they like picked
La
him up.
Resistance.
Yeah, La Resistance.
Yeah. And they like picked him up and didn't get him up high enough, and he just fell flat to the floor.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't feel it, but of course, I mean, he's Spike Dudley and he's indestructible.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Not to mention his whole body's probably calloused by now, so he's
He
not gonna feel shit.
probably doesn't have any active nerve endings in his back.
Yeah.
I mean, after feuding with Mike Awesome, and
Yeah.
that was another thing about ECW is they were, there was like selective about the extremes, like you wouldn't have, that you wouldn't repeat things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Hey,
would counter that with outstanding in-ring wrestling. But that's the difference.
Well, it was passionate. It was passionate wrestling. It was, they all believed in what they were doing. I was
They drank
drinking
the Kool-Aid juice. Yeah,
Right,
everybody
so
did.
was
I
I.
drank it too, right through. Yep,
I was
right there with you.
I was double cupping it. I was
I was double fisting it. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Hey,
And-
oh yeah. sorry.
I was in the Elks Lodge in Queens going, yeah, Paul Heyman,
Yeah.
baby.
See, how can you not drink the Kool-Aid in the Elks Lodge?
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I'm saying.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just before we run out of time, I just wanted to mention Akira Takarada passed away.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
star of tons of
Legend.
movies. And of course we know him most from all the Godzilla movies he was in.
All the ones in the Showa era.
Yeah, and well, he was in some of the Heisei era movies as
Yeah,
well.
he was. Yeah, he was.
He was even in Final Wars, I believe.
Yes, he was.
And it's a deleted scene, but he was in a deleted scene in the 2014 American Godzilla movie.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
He's a Japanese immigration agent in the
Oh.
2000, but it's deleted. It's like a deleted.
I have the Blu-ray. I got to look at that. Yeah.
We-
So
this pandemic and we've seen the a lot of deaths in the last 5 years, and it's sad.
mhm.
He was
It's crazy how many people are still going, when you think about it. And then there's people who just we just lose suddenly. So
Yeah. He was definitely an icon. I mean, he was in so many Godzilla movies, man. It was like if you saw him, you knew the Godzilla movie was going to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because he was in it.
yeah, I watched so many Godzilla movies. I didn't get to see as many in the theater as I would like to back in the 70s.
Yeah.
But I do remember seeing Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
I love that movie.
And
So-
I-
You saw that in
Savior.
the theaters?
That's hot, Zeus. You saw that in
yeah,
the
I
theater?
believe it was like 76.
That's
Wow.
hot.
77.
That's hot.
I have to look it up there. But we saw a lot of those movies on syndicated TV and TBS. TBS had would you could always count on like 2-3 times a year. TBS would show Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm. We had that in New York. It was called Channel 11 Pix.
mhm.
It was before the WB was even around, and they would show like on Saturday afternoon back-to-back Godzilla movies. You know, like like all from the Showa era, like Godzilla versus Megalon, and you
Yeah.
know Son of Godzilla and stupid shit like that. They would show all the time, constantly like the same handful of movies that would constantly show. That was good stuff.
Now, okay, so I think I might be mistaken here about the. All right, so it says, according to Wikipedia, Godzilla versus the Smog Monster wasn't released in the United States. It was 1972, so I would have been 1 year old. I would have been 1. So no, I probably didn't see that one in the theater.
Well,
I do remember it must have come on TV.
Okay, but also Zeus, they used to like movies used to come back in theaters.
That's
more
true. It
often.
might have been, it might have been a re-release.
Yeah. They did that with Godzilla versus Megalon. They re-released it in the theaters a couple times, because especially after the King Kong movie took off, right?
Yeah.
I remember seeing they had the movie posters on the train stations in New York, where you would see Godzilla versus Megalon on top of the World Trade Center.
Oh wow!
Because that was a capitalized off the King Kong movie. Because it was the Empire State Building, it was King Kong. Oh yeah, we Godzilla at the World Trade Center.
I bet I would actually, kind of look, yeah, I would say I probably did. I might have seen it as a re-release.
Yeah.
Hey Pedro, if you don't mind, we can keep it going for about another 10, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I was trying to go off your schedule.
I'm feeling all right today. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's since we might not have one next weekend or the weekend after. Let's do it. Let's go for it. I'm drinking the Knockout Mania Kool-Aid today. Let's do it.
That's right.
Markout Mania Kool-Aid. What color is the Markout Mania Kool-Aid? I have no idea.
It varies from region to region.
It's either beer yellow or blood red.
Yeah, there you go. God. Beer yellow. That's excellent, Zeus. I like that. Beer yellow. Well, it's St. Patrick's Day weekend, so how about we call it Cool Green? How about that?
Yeah. Everybody's Irish this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I saw Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla in a theater.
That was an awesome flick.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen a Godzilla movie in the movies. I've always wanted to see it. Only one I saw, I mean, obviously, was the new one, 2014. I saw that in IMAX. But I've never seen like a Showa series movie.
Right. So when it comes to the Japanese Godzilla movies, I saw the Godzilla Millennium, which here was Godzilla 2000.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then I saw Shin Godzilla. So that's the only one I've seen like
awesome.
In the actual Japanese with subtitles was Shin Godzilla.
I love Shin Godzilla. It's a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I was really surprised how good that was. And it,
actually, the first Godzilla movie ever to be not have a man in a suit. That was actually the first Japanese Godzilla movie to not have a man in a suit. It was all done motion capture. It's all done by motion capture. So that was actually kind of cool.
Anything else happening this week?
Besides Aubrey tripping on the steps on the way to the cage?
Yeah, I showed Stephanie that little clip of her like her feet sliding and slipping and sliding on the steps, and she said, "Why is she running like Luigi in Super Mario?"
I think the best part about that match was the night was when Big Baker super kicked the ref, and that actually looked like a connection. I was like, look, an actual cell.
The
The referee sold it, but I didn't think it looked that great actually. But
Well, you know, it looked better than a lot of stuff that was happening in the match.
I'm sorry, Zeus. What?
Stephanie's brutal, honest observations are always funny.
Yeah.
The other thing we have to mention,
Yes,
because it's so absurd, is Taguchi, Master Wato,
Yes.
oh
Yes. Yes.
and the Gorillas of Destiny, and Jado. That is just the
I
weirdest.
want to know who decided to put them all together for that picture. Who thought it was a good idea to say, "Hey, all of you get together, and I'm gonna take this photo."
I mean, it's just like the Road Warriors and Dusty Rhodes were teaming up with the Ding Dongs. You know,
The Monkey Brothers.
What is the status of the New Japan Cup? I haven't followed it all. I don't know what's happening with it. So
let me check it out here, see if I can find the
Yeah.
status, because it's like the biggest. It's like the biggest cup it's ever been. It's like every conceivable. Okay, so
why is Master Wild? And please, somebody explain to me why is Master Wild posing like he's on the cover of Vogue or something?
I don't know. He looks like one of the Super Friends, but him and Taguchi did win the
Former jobber wrestler.
Yeah. So so the if you'd like to hear the
Yes.
most recent results.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Hiromu beat Evil. And then he faces Shingo next, who just defeated Chase Owens. Sonata was defeated by Ospreay, and he faces Zack Sabre Jr. next.
oh wow.
That should be interesting.
Jeff Cobb beat Yoshihashi, and then he faces Naito, who beat Tanahashi. And then Shima Nobunaga beat Goto.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And then he faces the man who defeated Taichi, which is Kazuchika Okada. So the quarterfinals are Okada versus Sema, Naito versus Cobb, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ospreay, and Shingo versus Hiromu.
Man, talk about a match you do not expect to ever see pop up. Okada versus Cena.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned SEMA. That reminded me of something. You know how we were trying to figure out how we're supposed to say that promotion GLEAT, the GLEAT.
Isn't it great?
Yeah. So like,
Great.
do you know who Yappy is?
No.
So Ice Ribbon has this girl from the Philippines named Yappy. I think technically she might be like close to 40 or something. She's on the older side. She hasn't been wrestling too long, but she speaks like fluent English, and she's real popular with US English speaking Joshi fans because she can talk to everyone in English and stuff. And so the last 2 weeks, Ice Ribbon has started a show on their YouTube where she will give like a rundown of recent results and try to give, spotlight different wrestlers and their personalities and stuff. And it's all in English and stuff. But she'll, at the end of the show, she'll go over the schedules of, Ice Ribbon shows coming up. And there's a great show. Yeah, there's a show where some of the Ice Ribbon girls are going to be on that promotion, and yeah, she pronounced it great, like not even glate. She didn't say
Great.
She didn't say
just
G.
great.
She pronounced it like great, like GREAT. She just
It's like it's great.
it's great. So even though it's GLEAT, yeah,
Right.
it's great.
Yeah.
Weird.
I
Weird,
saw
weird, weird.
since that came up recently, I was like, oh, take notes.
Going back to the World Cup, I still wanted to see. I still haven't seen that match with
Oh, and
with
Despy.
Okada and Despy. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen
I
Yeah,
that.
still want to see that match. I still
Yeah.
want to see that match. I haven't seen it.
because Despy chopped the shit out of him apparently.
Yeah, like tore his chest up.
I saw a match from it was from Ice Ribbon from January where this girl named Tsukushi was facing Ibuki Hoshi. Ibuki Hoshi is this teenager who usually does like a goofy gimmick, but in this match they were just like going Ishii Shingo on each other, just stiffing the hell out of each other.
Nice.
I don't know if I ever told you all the story about Tsukushi and Kagetsu.
No.
No.
I'm saying her name all kind of fucked up ways. Tsukushi. It's very hard. When in 2017, when she was like 18 or 19, Ice Ribbon had a show at some festival, and coincidentally, at this festival, Kyoko Kimura had her food cart, and Kagetsu was helping Kyoko Kimura with her food cart at this festival. So some drunken incident happened where this 18, 19-year-old girl ended up stabbing Kagetsu.
Oh my god.
And she was kind of like suspended for like 5 or 6 months after that. It's like she was off wrestling for 5 or 6 months and she came back. But Kagetsu didn't press charges. That's why it wasn't like a longer thing. But yeah. So anyways.
Wow.
I got stabbed. That's brutal. Yeah.
No kidding.
Brutal. I don't know whether to watch Scott Hall's true interviews or Godzilla movies now. I know I'm definitely having a burger sometime today. Thanks, Zeus.
Stephanie and I watched a movie last weekend, The French Dispatch. Is that what it was called? The French Dispatch. The Wes Anderson.
Okay. Oh, I think I know you're talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was something.
There was something.
It was something. It was mixed. It was a mixed bag. I think most people hate the second story, which we did. We really, 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 really hated the second story in it.
I watched that documentary on HBO Max, Rising Phoenix.
Oh.
About Evan Rachel Wood her whole ordeal with Marilyn Manson.
Oh, really?
That's some shit.
I didn't know there was a thing about this.
It just came out this week. It's a 2-part documentary. Yes, Evan Rachel Wood went through some shit. I always thought that Marilyn Manson. I always thought that a lot of it was like just a gimmick. It was bullshit. No. No. It's not pleasant, but it's a very interesting documentary. Man, you should check it out.
We started watching the Andy Warhol Diaries on Netflix last week.
Yeah.
And we only saw the first episode so far. I will say it's very well done, but if anyone is thinking about watching it, I just want to throw this warning to y'all. You will never in your life see as much male anuses and scrotum as you will in this documentary. So if you weren't if you were going in and you're like, oh, this should be interesting, and you were not prepared for lots of ball sacks and men's butts.
Hey, I watched the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones.
So you're prepared.
There's a lot of fluffy warriors going on around there.
Oh my god! I'm watching cheaters and look at some painted guy on. Oh, look, a guy with a painted face. And Danhausen's on cheaters. Awesome.
That would be awesome if he was on cheaters.
I think Zeus is ready for Andy Warhol because he pre-gamed with fucking Games of Thrones, so he's ready.
Oh my goodness.
He's ready.
So hey, amigos. So we may be off for about 2 weeks. But we will be back sometime in some form. God willing.
We will be back because we'll be back in spite of popular demand.
Yeah.
Sure. Whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back.
So everyone, take care. We'll see y'all down the road. And adios.
Peace.